I call Chris Farfoy.
Thank you very much, Mr Chair. I plan to take a very short speech in this committee stage, and I won't bother reading the bill because that would take up too much time. But can I commend the member and the Chair who has put forward this bill, and I want to point to his SOP number 168, clause 47A2, 47A2, which sets out in the legislation that RSAs who are licensed, who are registered with the NZRSA, will be able to be open to between the hours of 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Anzac Day itself. It seems odd that we have to come to this House to do that, but it is in fact the fact that we are correcting a piece of legislation.
Point of order.
Acknowledge.
Point of order, Paul Foster-Bell.
I apologise to the member for interrupting. Point of order, sir, is that the clauses contained in the bill will all be taken as one question for the purposes of committee stage.
You're seeking leave for that purpose? Leave is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? All right. Leave is sought for the purposes that clauses 1 to 4 stand part. So the question is that clauses 1 to 4 stand part, and Chris Farfoy
Mr Chair, thank you.
a continuing call with 4 minutes 15 to go.
I'm glad that will make the process even more efficient, Mr Chair. There will be many presidents of RSAs around the country who will be happy that this piece of legislation will go through this House in the manner that it is today, because it will ensure that they will get to have a beer, if they want to enjoy a beer or a drink on the morning of Anzac Day, and not have to go through the rigmarole of having to apply for an exemption or a special licence for that purpose. It will save RSAs around the country a fair bit of money, especially if they are a smaller, struggling RSA. I found myself in the good position of sharing a beer with one of my local RSA presidents last Friday, who was one of the RSA presidents who called me and said it was my job to try and help sort this out. So I do acknowledge Roger Kingsford, of the president of the Porirua RSA, also the president of the Titahi Bay RSA, which is my local RSA, John O'Hara, who at Easter also told me of this issue. That's one of those smaller clubs that I spoke of, Mr President, who, $265 within the jurisdiction of the Porirua City Council is a lot of money, so they won't have to face that financial burden in the future because of that. I'd like to thank the member again. I think acknowledging the process that we have to go through to speed this through, but I do think it is a good thing that we can have this law in place by this Anzac Day, so we don't put extra pressures on our RSAs around the country.
Mr Chair.
Paul Foster-Bell.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Mr Chair,